you got a PPO against Claudia Thompson, issued by Judge Stutzman in 2023. And it's often difficult to do a PPO when the people are on the same property. This was by Judge Stutzman. And then you have a PPO against Charles Worthington. These are expired. They're not currently valid.
That's just so I show that, you know, they,
all right, so you got a PPO against them, correct? All right, so is all this junk in the back belong to Charles Worthington? So you got a PPO against them. They live in the back. Are you and Connie married?
No.
Do you jointly own the property?
Yes. All
right, so she has a joint own tenancy with you.
I was a co-signer for the property, so it's I'm considered third party. You got Connie, and then the mortgage company, and then me.
All right. So, all right. Do they pay any rent?
No.
All right, Mr. Worthington, why don't you come up to the podium? Come right up here if you would. You're under oath. Good morning, sir. Are you Charles Worthington?
Yes.
The township is taking expensive legal action to get all your stuff off this lot. What's your position?
We just got back to her. My fiance got back to work. We're trying to get stuff caught up and get the storage unit so we can get the stuff out of there. And I've been cleaning it up.
All right, well, it doesn't have to happen as soon as tomorrow, but what are you gonna do with these trailers?
Getting storage units for them.
This storage unit has outside storage in facilities that can store.
All right, thank you. You can have a seat. All right, so Mr. Worthington is apparently the occupant of this site, along with Miss Thompson. I can't believe someone would live there, but they apparently do. And they are willing to begin removing their property. They don't own the property. You and Miss Merriman do, and she's not here, so she's going to get defaulted. But the person that's going to get the bill for this is you and Connie Merriman. And the bill is going to be tens of thousands of dollars unless they remove the property from there. They're going to have to hire a company. They're going to come in there. They're going to load up all that stuff into dumpsters and take it to the dump. They're going to hire a company to tow off everything there that is not licensed and take it to the dump. And they're going to give you a great big bill and apply it as a lien on your property. The township has been very patient. They worked for a long time before December of 24. They had a hearing in February of 24. We had a compliance order in February of 25, compliance order in June of 25. And you guys have responded to this by essentially ignoring it. The one problem we always run into at this time of year, Mr. Cunningham, is we're covered with snow. The ground isn't quite frozen. It's going to be muddy, difficult to get that stuff out of there. So that's always problematic. And it's always to the township's benefit if the parties get the stuff out of there themselves, rather than having you hire a company to come in and do it. How much time are you willing to give them to remove the property?
Your Honor, I think practically speaking, it's going to be until spring before the township could get a contractor to go out there. So I think the court's well aware at this point. It's been a long time. And so we would ask to be authorized to remove the property immediately. But I think for practical purposes, it would be probably at least a month or two, maybe March, I would say is a reasonable timeline. Whatever the court would like to do in that regard. But we would ask to be authorized at least immediately, given that it's been so long since the compliance order came out.
And that's what I'm, and as I said, we run into this every year in December and January, and they've neglected it. But one problem is someone's living in there, and that's immediately going to be prohibited. They're going to have till March 30th to remove the property, or the township is authorized to remove the property and bring the property into compliance.
Your Honor,
Yes?
they have done quite a bit of getting stuff out of there. And also, I believe we got the property and house sold, and the closing on that is supposed to be first part of January.
Okay. Who's the purchaser?
I don't have my phone with me, but they're out of Florida. One of those, that buy
Will
as
buy your
is.
house? Okay, well, maybe that's a way to resolve this. In the meantime, you can't live in a trailer parked out behind somebody's house with a cord hooked up to the house. Someone's gonna die out there.
I'm currently working with Neighborhood Inc. because they had to fire everybody that was there. They apparently weren't doing their jobs. They got all the people from there, and that's right here in Centerville.
Okay, well, I'm glad they're back in Centerville. I had not heard. Maybe I'll contact them. All right, but Mr. Cunningham, that complicates things. Certainly, this often fixes it. A bank repossesses the property and they clean it up. Someone purchases it, maybe a neighbor purchases it because they're tired of looking at it. They clean it up. I'm going to give in the order, the plaintiffs have the right to enforcement. Defendants and their successors shall have until March 30th, 2026 to clean this property up. So if someone buys this property from you in January, the township won't take any action until March 30th. But you got stuff in the front yard, stuff in the backyard. The occupants of the trailer have 10 days to vacate or they will be in contempt, in which case I would do an order ordering the sheriff to come evict them from that property. That's dangerous. It's not sanitary. It is an electrical hazard and it's dangerous. And you can't do it anyway. So you have 10 days to get a place to go or take that. Is it a motorhome or a trailer? It has an engine in it? Trailer, okay. You don't have to move it within 10 days, but you have to be out of it within 10 days or I'm going to find you in contempt. Mr. Cunningham or Mr. Garuda, anything else you wish to add to the order?
Your Honor, if we could just clarify the issue of attorney's fees.
Yes.
In the past, when we've done this, we've just submitted a bill of costs with both our fees and Mike's fees along with that 7-day order.
The statute does allow for that. There is going to be an order for money for their attorney fees. The township is spending thousands of dollars for this enforcement. And this started out small and grew into what it is. why people store junk tires. Because it costs money to get rid of them. Twice a year, you can dispose of them at the county disposal day for $2 a tire, but there's probably 100 or more tires on there. All kinds of other stuff. Some of it has value, the generators or boats and some of it's just plain junk that needs to go to the dump, and some of it may be scrap that has some monetary value. But I'm sure that whoever's buying this property doesn't wish to buy it to have a junk heap on it. I think they're gonna turn it into a house like it once was. And as I said, they're attempting to clean up all of Patterson Lane and all of Lockport Township, one parcel at a time. This would be a default as to Miss Merriman because she did not appear. But it's the same order that would apply to Mr. Bryan. So, Mr. Bryan, your plan is you and Connie plan to move out of the house sometime before January,
That's the idea.
and then the new purchaser will have it. And in the meantime, Mr. Worthington and Ms. Thompson are gonna try to clean the back up. That personal protection order is no longer in effect.
Right.
But so as it
No,
stands,
I just,
but so you stay away from each other, you stay in the house and they stay in the back?
yeah, basically.
Well, it's your property and Connie's, and you can't let people do it. Your neighbors are complaining. The township's complaining. People complain to the township. Like, how could, in fact, as I'm looking at it, I'm thought, how could this exist? How come it took this long? But I often feel that way when we get into these situations. They don't happen overnight. All right, do you have any questions?
No,
All right, they're gonna do an order after this hearing where I find that you are violated my compliance order by doing nothing. Miss Merriman isn't here. She lied to the court when she said the roads were bad and she was late. She just wasn't coming. So her son has come, but he's a source of much of the problem. So it's good that he's here.
she is sick.
Okay, well, she didn't tell me that. She told me she was on the way here.
I'm the one who called. I said that her son was representing her. I let him know up there that she was not feeling good.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood. At any rate, you guys got work to do. Anything you want to get out of there that you don't want destroyed, junked, you need to get out of there. So if you've got a storage space and you're gonna pull all this stuff out of there, you got sooner rather than later, because the property's gonna change hands in January. There's also gonna be an assessed cost for attorney fees and the inspection and enforcement fees. You won't like that much, but it will be attached to the order with what's called a bill of costs. And you and Connie are jointly responsible for that. Maybe you can use the proceeds of the sale of the house to pay those fees.
Your Honor, if I could just clarify the order, then if they do go unpaid, either the attorney's fees or the cleanup costs, if we get to that point, would we be authorized to impose them as a lien? I know the statute
Correct.
provides for
That's
that, but
correct.
just to make sure it's clear. Thank you.
All right, anything further? All right, Mr. Bryan, do you know where you're moving to?
No, not right offhand. So say my brother's got a place in Florida. I thought about.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna move out of state, if you're gonna stay here in Michigan.
I have no idea right now.
Well, there's not a lot of time between now and then.
Well, until I get some cash from the house there, right? And my understanding is me and Connie will be splitting up. So she'll take her half of the money and
All right, well, maybe that's for the best. They'll get the junk off the property, someone will buy it, somebody will turn it into a habitable house. Township will be happy and you guys can start fresh somewhere else. All right, this record is completed. I'll await the order under the 7-day rule. And you guys are all good to go. Mr. Worthington, you got your work cut out for you, but let's hope the weather breaks a little bit. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.